people today. They could spend half their lives over 50. That's a lot of living. So it helps to have a wise friend and fierce defender in your corner. A friend like AARP. So your health lives longer.
This is just slow-mo karate?
Just slow-mo karate.
Your money lives longer.
I just bought that.
I just sold that.
And your happiness lives longer. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Join today.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining today's virtual event. As a dedicated volunteer with AARP, I'm delighted to welcome you to a virtual event that's close to our hearts. Our mission at AARP is to enrich the quality of life for individuals as they age through proactive advocacy, impactful service, and the dissemination of valuable information that champions positive social change. In today's event, we're diving into the dynamic concept of disrupt aging. Disrupt aging is about celebrating the diversity of aging experiences through personal stories, images, and a variety of perspectives, fostering a community that is not defined by a single voice, but is inclusive of the many voices advocating for change. Together, we'll challenge outdated beliefs about aging and to ignite new solutions for a future where every individual can age with dignity, purpose, and endless possibilities. Let's engage, learn, and be inspired to view aging through a new lens. Welcome to this journey of discovery and transformation. We also invite you to join the AARP volunteer team to make a difference in the caregiving community.
Hi, everyone. I'm Amanda Pyle, and I am coming to you from Morton, Illinois, where today we're going to be making some fun crafts for March. There are a lot of things that we celebrate in the month of March, besides just our caretakers that chip in every single day to help us have a healthy and loving lifestyle. But also, it is National Good Samaritan Day in March. It is Employee Appreciation Day in March, and it's also Women's Appreciation in March. So today we thought, how about we do a fun coffee mug project that you can do at home with some leftover fingernail polish that you have lying around that you're not using. And we can create these fun designs on the side of a coffee mug. Now, I did do these with my 10-year-old. We had a blast making them. She got to pick the different colors of fingernail polish that she wanted to use to create the mug. And then we just bought a very simplified mug from the Dollar Tree that was already pre-glazed, but just plain white design so that it really picked up the colors that we wanted. You can use a mug that already has a design on it. This is our Dogs for President 2024 mug. And I just dipped the bottom of it just to give a little bit of accent to kind of show you where that can go. But I really like the way it looks on the plain white mugs. You can do a mug that goes halfway up, or you can do a mug that goes a little bit further up, which is what we're going to do in our demonstration today. So this one here is packed with some mint chocolate, hot chocolate mix in a bag that we're going to show you how to make at the end of the video as well. But this is a mint chocolate chip, which I thought went really nice with St. Patrick's Day, and our cute little green mug here. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start first with the coffee mugs. And like I said, these are $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. So what a great project that you can do at home for cheap with grandkids or kids, or even just yourself hanging out around and need something to do. It's going to be cold weather still in March, hopefully starting to warm up. So this is a great inside project. So I have here a nice big bowl of water. What you're going to make sure here is, number one, that your water is not hot or cold, but instead it is warm. So somewhere right in the middle. You also want to make sure that the mug is going to be able to submerge as far as you want to see the colors. So if you want to see colors only halfway up your mug, you're going to use a more shallow bowl with less water in it so that it only travels halfway up when you dunk the mug. If you want to go a little bit further to the top, like I'm going to do in this demonstration here, then you're going to want to have a deeper bowl where you can set the mug in and it can kind of travel up the side. As far as your colors, I would look for fingernail polish that is kind of loose in there and not something that's super thick, because you're going to need it to be a pourable consistency. I really like the fingernail polish that has the little beads inside. That way, when I shake it, I know that I'm getting out any potential lumps that could be in there. And I can also feel the nail polish moving inside, so I know it's going to be a great consistency for pouring here. When I was doing my trial and error with these mugs, what I noticed doesn't work very well is the nail polish that has the sparkles inside of it. That seems to be heavier, and it wants to go right to the bottom of the bowl, and we actually need it to float on top. So I'm going to start with my blue color here. I'm actually going to do like a blue and orange. My husband's a big Bears fan, so that kind of inspired these colors. But any colors you want work. You can do 4 mugs that are all the same and create a set, or you can do kind of like a spring line, which is what I've been creating here. So I've shaken up my nail polish, and the first thing I'm going to do is just try to float it over the top here. Some will sink to the bottom, but you're going to pour it, and you're just going to drizzle it over the top. And as you can see, that blue is floating all along the top. And I like going in a circle. And the reason is, the first place to pick up the nail polish is going to be the bottom of the mug. And so I try not to get too much on the bottom of the mug, which is why I'm creating kind of a center that has nothing, and then kind of trying to get the nail polish to kind of go in a circle around. And I'll show you more what I mean here in a second when I dip the mug. There we go. This one is a bit more gloopy, might have been a bit older. Give it another shake. Come on. There we go. And I don't know about you, but I have a 10-year-old daughter. I have a ton of nail polish in my house. And I thought this is a great craft to kind of eat some of that up, because some of it I know is very old, probably wouldn't be good for painting nails. So not really a better way to use it than this. Once I have my colors in there, I'm going to just use a little stick to kind of make a little hole in the center where I want to dip the bottom of my mug first. And then what'll happen is, as my mug goes in, this fingernail polish is going to kind of travel up the top of it. So we're going to put the bottom of, or the middle of our mug right into the middle of the bowl. And we're going to dunk it. And then we're going to pull it on up. And it's as simple as that, folks. And look at those cool colors. All right. If you want to do another dunk and you still have some in there, you can. You just want to be careful. I don't like to go right back into the center again. I'll go more towards the area of where there's still some fingernail polish and try to get it up the rest of the side here. And we were successful in doing that. And if you have some that wants to just kind of hang on here, sometimes you'll get a bit of a film on there. I just use my little stick and kind of wipe it away. And so I'm liking the way that looks. It's pretty uniformly matched all the way across the mug here at a certain level. And so my next step is to have some parchment paper all ready to go here so that I can set my mug down to dry. And then I'm going to clear my water bowl out here. You can use that stick. I'm using just a cake pop stick. And when I do that, I'm able to pick up all of the remaining residue that was left in there, and I can start with new colors. And so if you want to do more than one mug, you can usually clear out that excess there. As you can see, I'm back to clear water. Anything that sunk to the bottom isn't going to be a problem on our next mug. All right, so next I think we'll do some different colors here. We're going to do a lime green, a pink, and a purple. And like I said, my daughter is 10. She just had a blast doing this project. I think it was the combination of being able to use some of her own polishes and doing that, plus just creating something fun. I don't like to go all the way to the top of the mug when I'm doing them, just because I know that the nail polish is it's going to take a little bit to cure, so I wouldn't drink out of it right away anyway, but I don't want to have to worry about tasting it when I'm actually drinking out of the mug, Ooh, these are two pretty colors together. The purple and the green. And I'm going to add a little pink just for fun. And again, I'm going in that circle, trying to leave that center kind of open and clean and clear. Get my mug, and here we go. Very cool design and colors on that one. Really like the purple and the green together. Very cool. And again, I want just a tad bit more color, so I'm going to do a little bit of an extra dip. And try to latch on to any of that extra polish that's in there. And this one we went pretty far up our mug. There's usually one side that looks better than the other. This side looks great. Get one little section here, and we'll do another dip, and there we go. It took about 5 days for the mugs to kind of cure and dry last time I made them. And I just think these are an adorable little gift to put a fun tea in, or today we're going to show how to make a homemade hot chocolate that's ready to go that you can sneak inside. And I've got two more colors I'm going to use, a red and kind of a aqua or a teal together. And as far as how much you do, I just kind of put in until I can kind of see it, make sure that it's floating on top, and then I stop. Ooh, I'm going to like these two, I can tell. All right, and here goes our last one. Kept the center kind of open with just the water. Give it a dunk. All the way around. Oh, this one is probably my favorite. Look at that. That's really cool. All right. So now we set these down. Let those dry. So we've got our green and red, which kind of turned to pink, green, and red. And then our electric blue and red. And then this one where we went up the entire mug, the purples and the greens. So we'll let those dry, and then I'm going to show you how to make this hot cocoa mix. All right, so how do we make hot cocoa that's ready to go into a nice little sleeve? Well, our cocoa contains confectioner sugar or powdered sugar, some Dutch cocoa, a half a cup of powdered milk plus 2 tablespoons, a half a teaspoon of cornstarch. This kind of just helps bind the hot cocoa with the milk so that it's not just floating in there and creating little lumps. And then a pinch of salt. This is obviously optional. And then I also put in today some marshmallows and some like the soft mints, dinner mints, I guess that you would call them. And I just picked out the ones that are green and yellow. They are pastel, so it's kind of hard to see in the video, but I picked out the pastel greens and yellows and whites because this is the hot cocoa mix that went into my St. Patrick's Day mug. So this is what it looks like as the final product. So powdered sugar, the cocoa, the powdered milk and the cornstarch all together, and then at the top is my mints and marshmallows. Now this one here, I've started with my mints, and again, I just took the the dinner mints that are kind of soft and dissolve in your mouth, because I know they're going to dissolve in the hot cocoa when it gets cooked. And you could even tie a little instructional onto the side of that if you wanted, that just says mix with 1 cup of water and cook until everything dissolves, and then enjoy with more marshmallows on top, or whatever you wanted to say on there. So right now I just have my mints in the bottom, and I'm going to add in my 1/4 cup of confectioner sugar. Into the bag. Give it a little shake. And I get these bags just off Amazon. Get like 100 of them for $5, so they're really nice and cheap. Not actually piping anything through them, so they don't need to be super strong. You could use also a Ziploc bag and then just cut the sealable part off and tie a ribbon on instead. So 2 tablespoons of cocoa going in here now. And I'm just building in layers so that you can see the different things going on. I do like the special dark Dutch cocoa here, but anything works. You could also skip all of this and just put your own store-bought cocoa mix in there too. All right, so now I've got my powdered sugar and my mints, followed by my cocoa. Next, I've already mixed my dry milk with my cornstarch, so that's going to go in for the next layer. Just like that. And then a little handful of marshmallows. All right, I'm going to twist off the bag like so. Little piece of tape to secure. Cute. All right, now we have our easy little bag that's going to tuck just beautifully right inside of our mug. And then I always just add a little napkin or something fun and cute to bring a little color to the mug. This one has a cute little bow, cute little snowman napkin. This one here, I put just some background doggy paper, and this is actually a tea. It's just in a doggy tea bag. But it's not for the dogs. It's a peppermint tea, but you could fill it with tea if you know somebody loves tea. You could even do just some store-bought bags of tea to go in this mug. Some people are tea drinkers, some people are cocoa drinkers. You could even put some fun coffee pods in there if you want. Build it up and really make it cute, something that goes along with the mug. So again, we'll go back to this one now. And the napkins are kind of an optional thing. I think it just makes it have a little more color and look nice. And then again, back to our St. Patty's Day one. I just like that everything is customizable. You can really do anything you want here with the colors. So again, we'll have another look at these. Oh, this is definitely one of my faves. This is really cute. That looks great. And then the bottom, as you can see, because we did that method where the center was kind of just water and not nail polish, you know, kind of helps to keep that nice and clean, which helps it to not stick to the parchment paper. If you do get a little on there, like this one, I would recommend, while it's still kind of wet, just giving it a bit of a wipe, just so that's not on the bottom. When I did this the first time, my mugs had the stickers on the bottom, just like this one does, which was kind of awesome because I was able to dip it and then peel the sticker off, which is great. This one really started out as my Bears theme, but went totally all American. I love it. It's a great little 4th of July mug. And then our green, pink, and white one that went almost all the way to the top, almost all the way around. And then again, you could always go back in there and redip, but I just kind of like to go with what happened naturally in the process. And this one had another sticker on the bottom, which made it very easy to peel it off and have a nice clean bottom of the cup. So obviously, adding the detail to the side of these mugs makes them not dishwasher safe. So whoever you do gift them to, I would recommend letting them know that you want to make sure that you hand wash this gift. That way it stays good for a lifetime. So again, just a recap, use a very nice deep bowl of water that is warm when you're making your mugs. Find some fingernail polish that moves around nicely and you can feel it moving around nicely when you jiggle the fingernail polish around, preferably something with the metal balls inside that's working that to make sure it's a pourable consistency. When you pour, you make sure that you pour in a circle, leaving the center barren of fingernail polish. That way, when you do the dip, it comes up the sides and doesn't get all over the bottom of the bowl, or the bottom of the mug, rather. And then picking colors that kind of go together according to the theme that you're wanting to give for this gift is nice as well. So again, we did our green and yellow for St. Patrick's Day, paired it up with some gold and some other green things here, and then a peppermint hot chocolate to go in there so that the theme all made sense together. If you do want the recipe for our hot chocolate, it is going to be for 1 serving. It's going to be a 1/4 cup of confectioner sugar, so that's your powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of Dutch cocoa, whatever kind you like, a 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of dry milk powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of cornstarch, and then a pinch of salt. And we used a pink Himalayan salt there. And then whatever other additions that you want that might enhance the cocoa and flavor. So we did those crushed party mints or dinner mints, they're called, and then some marshmallows. But you could also do some crushed up chocolate bar or a 1/4 cup of chocolate chips, either white or dark would be great in there, just to kind of enhance the flavor of your cocoa if you're wanting to do that. And then this little bag is a 10-inch bag that we get off of Amazon, but anything works, including a Ziploc bag would work great. And then if you wanted to just give it an extra touch, you could add a little tag to the side that says add to 1 cup add to 1 cup milk or water and cook on the stove until all of the contents are dissolved and incorporated. And then they would have the instructions to make their cup of hot cocoa as well. Alrighty, folks. Well, in this video, that's all we've got for you today. Hopefully you enjoy making some fun, customized fingernail polish dipped mugs at home and giving them away for something special in March. We'll see you back here soon for another great video. Thanks, everyone.